is required.
Isn't it incredible that you can take a bus and it just drops you off in the world in a location that you desire? I feel like the bus, it's one of these things that we think about in the cities where it's like, oh, you have to take the bus, oh, that sucks. You know, you gotta take a bus, you can't drive yourself. It's like, it's actually way nicer to just hop in a bus and then teleport somewhere than to have to, okay, go to the garage, go to the parking lot, go to the parking spot, get your keys, start the car up, turn the heat on, you know, get yourself together, you know, start to push the pedal down. Like, what do you're pushing pedals? Imagine pushing pedals and driving wheels. Like, look, I have nothing but respect for bus drivers. I feel as though automation of technology, automation of automobiles, like this is the future, and I'm already embracing it essentially by using buses and Ubers. I never want to own a car, honestly. Like Philadelphia, it's the most walkable city in the world. Philadelphia is so accessible. I mean, I guess in the country, right? Let's say it's the most walkable city in the country. Let's just put that out there. I believe it is. I mean, the way that the grid system was laid out by William Penn is beautiful, right? It really is, because all of the major locations that you need to access in Center City, Philadelphia, or in the greater Philadelphia area are really close by, even just via subway, train, bus, right? So there is something about the connectivity of a city through a grid system that I'm actually fond of, and I feel as though the order and structure of the grid is in contrast to the chaos and unpredictability of the humans that inhabit the space. And so when I see people that are doing the wheelies down the street, going the opposite way on bikes or dirt bikes, I always think to me like they're like a glitch in the system. And yeah, it's going to be interesting when all the vehicles are autonomous and when the city is operating automatically. I do think that is the future. I don't see it being in the next 5-10 years, maybe more, but yeah, there's going to be a time where yeah, all of the cars are just going to drive themselves. Oh, someone's sleeping in that car. Jeez, what the hell? This is literally just knocked out cold, just sleeping in their car. And so with that, yeah, I feel as though there is something about vehicles that I am not necessarily a fan of, where I think of a car similar to that of technology. I mean, it is, right? It is technology. But I actually compare it to the use of an iPhone, right? And when you think of the iPhone and the way that it separates you from the world, there is this jarring sensation if you using an iPhone in a public space and being immersed in that world, and then picking your head up, right, and then being an embodied reality in the physical world. Like, there is this separation between the digital and the real world that is very jarring, and I can only see us going closer and closer towards that lifestyle of embracing the digital transformation of the workplace. Think of Zoom calls, think of the way that we send emails, even iPhone texting, you know, FaceTiming, right? These different features that we use, while they do bring us closer together, I actually believe they separate us more than ever. And I feel this way about vehicles and the way in which the vehicle, it's a physical barrier between you and the real world around you. And so this is why you'll see people that get road rage so much easier, because they have this aluminum can separating them from other people, and because of that protective barrier from the physical world, they can then start honking their horn aggressively. They can start to scream out their windows, and who knows? I mean, I hear stories of people that, you know, get into physical altercations because of road rage, and I don't think this is a good thing. And I find that that is a similar experience that you can find in digital spaces online, where people actually argue and bicker and have much more aggression on the internet because they have a physical barrier between them and the other person, right? There is no repercussion in the physical world. And I think, again, that's a problem. And with that, I mean, these are very obvious ideas, I think, But they're ideas that I think about a lot because every day when I wait for the bus, I constantly just see people just screaming and honking because there's this intersection of chaos where the bus stop is, and it's just funny the way that people are so angry there. It's almost just humorous. Like, if somebody like is delayed by 5 seconds because they're waiting for the green light and they're like 5 seconds delayed, like everyone goes crazy. You know, everything needs to be fast, instantaneous. And yeah, that's maybe why I like the automatic self-driving car ideas. I think that actually they'll be safer than manually driven cars, because the way that people, like when I observe people that are driving, people are typically on their phones. I feel as though like everyone's just looking down on their phone when they get to a red light. Everyone texts and drives. Like, you can't tell me otherwise. Like, if somebody doesn't text and drive, well, then they're a saint, right? I don't think there's many saints in the world right now. So everyone's texting and driving. People are like eating their fast food and driving. I see a lot of the times, like snacking, you know, they're just always preoccupied, right? And so that's another reason why there's going to be all of these accidents and chaos in the streets. And yeah, I think actually there's a virtue to automating all these kind of like systems. Yeah, I think it'll free up more time and make people's lives easier. So yeah, look, I'm a big fan of the bus. It feels like I'm in the future. I know that it's just funny because like the bus is like this old thing and like people don't generally like to take the bus. But I love taking the bus, you know? It's like you can take photos out the window, you can read a book and stand in the little like standing area by the door. It's super nice. The heat's already on when you get in there. It's nice and toasty in these colder months, you know, it's really nice. Look, anything that makes my life easier, I'm gonna be a fan of for sure. Yeah, just some random thoughts about cars, technology, and yeah, how I see these automatic self-driving cars to be beneficial for the future. Yeah, it feels very similar to me, just like waiting for a bus. Like, it feels like that's the automatic self-driving car. The difference is there's a dedicated bus driver. So yeah, just gonna get my day started here in the park. Do some thinking and writing and reading for the beginning of my day. I just like to think out loud, I guess.